Hi guys, let's start mm, reading Bhagwad Geeta. So you're using this website to read. So yoga through discerning the divine and demonic natures. The supreme divine personality said, "O sign of Bharat, there are saintly virtues of those endowed with divine nature, fearlessness, purity of mind, steadfastness in spiritual knowledge, charity, control of senses, sacrifice, study of sacred books, austerity, straightforwardness, non-violence, truthfulness, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, restraint from fault finding, compassion toward all living beings, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, lack of fickleness, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, bearing enmity toward none, and absence of vanity. O Parth, the qualities of those who possess the demonic nature are hypocrisy, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. The divine quality leads to liberation, while the demonic qualities are the causes for continuing destiny of bondage. Grieve not, Arjun. You were born with saintly virtues. There are two kinds of being in this world, those endowed with divine nature and those possessing a demonic nature. I have described the divine qualities in detail. O Arjun, now hear from me about the demonic nature. Those possessing demonic nature do not comprehend what actions are proper and which are improper. Hence, they possess neither purity nor conduct nor even truthfulness. They say the word is without absolute truth, without any basis for moral order, and without a God who has created or is controlling it. Is created from the combination of two sexes and has no purpose than other than sexual gratification. Holding fast to such views, these misdirected souls with small intellect and cruel actions arise as the enemy of the world, threatening its destruction, harboring insatiable lust, full of hypocrisy, pride, and arrogance. The demonic cling to the false tenet. Thus illusioned, they are attracted to the impermanent work and work with improper resolve. They are obsessed with endless anxieties that end only with death. Still, they maintain the complete assurance that gratification of desire and accumulation of wealth is the only highest purpose of life. Held in bondage by hundreds of desires and driven by lust and anger, they strive to accumulate the wealth by unjust means, all for gratification of their senses. The demonic person think, I have gained so much wealth today, I shall now fulfill this desire of mine. This is mine, and tomorrow I shall have even more. That enemy has been destroyed by me, and I shall destroy others too. I am like God Himself. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect. I am powerful and I am happy. I am wealthy and I have highly placed relative. Who else is equal to me? I shall perform sacrifices to the celestial God. I shall give alms. I shall rejoice. In this way, they gonna be deluded by ignorance, possessed and led astray by such imagining, enveloped in mesh of delusion and addicted to gratification of sensuous pleasures. They descend to the murkiest hell. Such self-conceited and stubborn people, full of pride and arrogance in their wealth, perform ostentatious sacrifice in name only, with no regard to the rule of scriptures. Blinded by egotism, strength, and arrogance, desire and anger, the demonic abuse me who am I present in their body, in the bodies of the and in the bodies of others. These cruel, hateful persons, the vile and vicious of humankind, are constantly hurled into the wombs of those with a similar demonic nature, the cycle of rebirth in the material world. These ignorant souls take birth again and again in the most demonic wombs. Failing to reach me, O Arjun, they gradually sink to the most abdominal type of existence, the three gates leading to the hell of self destruction for the soul: lust, anger, and greed. Therefore, one should abandon all three. Therefore, those who are free from the gates to the darkness endeavor for the welfare of their soul and thereby attain supreme soul. Those who act under impulse of desire, discarding the injunctions in scriptures, attain neither perfection nor happiness nor supreme goal in this life. Therefore, let the scriptures be your authority in determining what should be done and what should not be done. Understand the scriptural injunction and teachings, and then perform your action in this word accordingly. Yoga through discerning three divisions of faith. Arjun said, O Krishna, where do they stand who disregard the injunctions of scripture but they still worship with faith? Is their faith in mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance? The Supreme Divine Personality said, Every human being is born with innate faith, which can be of three kinds: Sat, Rajasic, or Tamasic. Now hear about this from me. The faith of all human conforms to the nature of their mind. All people possesses faith in whatever nature their faith that is verily they are. Those in mode of goodness worship celestial gods. Those in mode of passion worship yakshas and Rakshasas. Those in mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Some people perform stern austerities that are not enjoyed by scriptures but rather motivated by hypocrisy and egotism. Impelled by the desire and attachment, they torment not only the element of their body but I also who dwell in them as supreme soul. Know these senseless people to be of demoniacal resolve. The food that is people prefer is according to the food that people prefer is according to their disposition. The same is true for the sacrifice, austerity, and charity. They're inclined for or predisposed toward. Now, here are the distinctions from me. People in the mode of goodness prefer food that promote lifespan, increase virtue, strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such food are juicy, succulent, nourishing, and naturally tasteful. Food that are too bitter, too sour, salty, or very hot, pungent, dry, and full of chilies are very dear to the person in mood of passion. Such food produce pain, grief, and disease. Food that are overcooked, stale, putrid, polluted, and impure are dear to person in a mode of ignorance. Sacrifice that is performed in accordance to scripture injunctions without expectation of reward, with firm conviction of the mind that it is a matter of the duty, is of nature of goodness. O best of Bharatas, know that the sacrifice performed for material benefit or with hypocritical aim is in mode of passion. Sacrifice devoid of faith and contrary to the injunctions of scriptures, in which no food is offered, no mantras are chanted, and no donation is made, is to be considered mode of ignorance. When worship of Supreme Lord, the Brahmin, the spiritual master, the wise, and the elder is done with observance of cleanness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence, then this worship is declared to the austerity of the body. Words that do not cause distress are truthful, inoffensive, and beneficial, as well as regular recitation of Vedic scriptures. These are declared as austerity of speech, serenity of thought, gentleness, silence, self control, purity of purpose. All these are declared to be the austerity of mind. When devout person with ardent faith practice threefold austerity without yearning for material reward, they are designated the austerity in mode of goodness. Austerity, austerity, austerity that is performed with ostentation for the sake of gaining honor, respect, adoration is in mode of passion. Its benefits are unstable and transitory. Austerity that is performed by those who confuse notion, which involves torturing, self-harm, or harming others described mode of ignorance. Charity given to a worthy person simply because it is right to give without consideration of anything in return at proper time and in proper place is stated to be in mode of goodness. But charity given in reluctance with hope of a return or in expectation of reward is said to be in mode of passion. And that charity which is given to the wrong place and wrong time to unworthy person without showing respect or with contempt is held to the nature of nuisance. The word Om Tat Sat have been declared symbolic representation of supreme absolute truth from beginning of creation. From them came the priests, scriptures, and sacrifice. Therefore, when performing act of sacrifice, offering charity, or undertaking penance, expounders of Vedas always begin with the word by uttering Om according to the prescriptions of Vedic injunctions. Person who do not desire fruitive reward but seek to be free from material entanglement utter the word Tat along with the austerity of sacrifice and charity. The word Sat means ex- external existence and goodness. So, origin it is also used to describe an auspicious action being established in the performance of sacrifice, penance, and charity is also described by the word Sat, and act any act for such purpose is named as Sat. O son of Pritha, whatever act of sacrifice, charity, or penance are done without faith are termed as asat. They are useless both in this world and the next. You go to last chapter. Moksha Sannyas, yoke to the perfection of renunciation and surrender. Arjun said, O mighty armed Krishna, I wish to understand the nature of sannyas and tyag. O Rishikesh, I also wish to know the distinction between the two. O Keshini Shudan, the Supreme Divine Personalities said, giving up actions motivated by desire is what learned to understand as sannyas. Relinquishing the fruit of all action is what the wise declare to be tyag. Some learned people declare that all kind of action should be given up as evil, while others maintain that act of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Now, here from my conclusion on the subject of renunciation, O tiger amongst men, for renunciation has been declared to be of three kinds. Action based on sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. They must be certainly be performed. Indeed, acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are purifying even for those who are wise. These activities must be performed without attachment and expectation of for rewards. This is my definite and supreme verdict. O Arjun, prescribed duty should never be renounced, such as such diluted renunciation is said to be in mode of ignorance. To give up prescribed duty because they're troublesome or cause bodily discomfort is renunciation in mode of passion. Such renunciation is never beneficial or elevating. When actions are undertaken in response to duty, one relinquishes attachment to any reward. O Arjun, it is considered renunciation in nature of goodness. Those who neither avoid disagreeable work nor seek work because it is agreeable are the person with of true renunciation. They are endowed with equality, quality of mode of goodness and have no doubt about the nature of other. For the embodied being, it is impossible to give up activities entirely, but those who relinquish the fruit of their actions are said to be truly renounced. The threefold fruits of action, pleasant, unpleasant, pleasant, and mixed, occur even after death to those who are attached to the personal reward. But for those who relinquish the fruit of their action, there are no such results in here or hereafter. O Arjun, now learn from me about five factors that have been mentioned for the accomplishment of all action in the doctrine of Sankhya, which explains how to stop reactions of karmas. The body, the doer, or the soul, the various senses, the many kind of efforts, and divine providence. These are five factors of action. There are five these five are contributing factor for whatever action is performed, whether proper or improper, with body, speech, or mind. Those who do not understand this regard soul as the only doer. With their impure intellect, they cannot see things as they are. Those who are free from the ego of being the doer and whose intellect is unattached, though they may slay living beings, they neither kill nor are bound by actions. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower. These are three factors that induce action: the instrument of action, the act itself, and the doer. These are three constituents of action. Knowledge, action, and doer are declared to be of three kinds in Sankhya philosophy, distinguished accordingly to the three modes of material nature. Listen, I will explain to their distinctions to you. Understand that knowledge to be in mode of goodness by which person sees one divided imperishable reality within all diverse living beings. That knowledge is to be considered in mode of passion by which one sees manifold living entities in diverse bodies as individual and unconnected. That knowledge is said to be in mode of ignorance where one is engrossed in fragmental concept as if it is encompasses the whole, which is neither grounded in reason nor based on truth. Action that is in accordance with scriptures, free from attachment and aversion, and done without desire for reward is in mode of goodness. Action that is prompted by selfish desire and acted with pride and full of stress is in nature of passion. That action is declared to be in mode of ignorance, which begin out of delusion, without thought of one's own ability and disregarding consequences, loss and injury to other. The performer is said to be in the mode of goodness when he or she is free from egotism and attachment, endowed with enthusiasm and determination, and equiposed in success and failure. The performer is considered to mode of passion when he or she craves the fruit of work, is covetous, violent natured, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow. A performer is in mode of ignorance, is one who is undisciplined, vulgar, stubborn, deceitful, slothful, despondent, and a procrastinator. Here now, O Arjun, of the distinctions of intellect and determination according to the three modes of material nature, as I describe them in detail. The intellect is said to be the mode of nature of goodness, O Parth, when it understands what is proper action is, what improper action is, what duty and non-duty is, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. That intellect is considered a mode of passion where it is confused between righteousness and unrighteousness and cannot distinguish between the right and the wrong conduct or path. That intellect which is shrouded in darkness, imagining irreligion to be religion and perceiving untruth to be the truth, is of nature of ignorance or path. The steadfast willpower that is developed through yoga, we sustain the activities of mind and life here, and the sense of opar is said to be determination of mode of goodness. The steadfast willpower by which one holds to duty, pleasure, wealth out of attachment, desire for the reward, origin is said to be mode of passion. That unintelligent resolve is said to be determination mode of ignorance in which one does not give up dreaming, fearing, grieving, despair, and conceit. Now, here for me, origin the three kind of happiness in which embodied soul rejoices and can even reach the end of all suffering. That which seems like poison at first but tastes like nectar in the end is said to be mode of happiness and goodness. It is generated by pure intellect that is situated in the self knowledge. Happiness is said to be mode of passion when it is derived from the contact of senses with their object. Such happiness is like a nectar at first but poison at the end. That happiness which covers the nature of self from beginning to the end, which is derived from sleep, indolence, and negligence, is said to be mode of ignorance. No living being on earth or in the highest celestial abodes of this material realm is free from the influence of these three modes of nature. The duties of Brahman, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distributed according to their qualities, in accordance with their gunas, and not by birth. Tranquility, restraint, austerity, purity, patience, integrity, knowledge, and wisdom and belief in hereafter, there are the intrinsic qualities of work of Brahman: valor, strength, fortitude, skill in weaponry, resolve never to retreat from battle, large heartedness in charity, and leadership abilities. These are natural qualities for Kshatriyas. Agriculture, dairy farming, and commerce are natural works for those who the qualities of Vaishya. Serving through this work is a natural duty for those with qualities of Shudras. By fulfilling their duties born out of innate qualities, human being can attain perfection. Now, hear from me how one can become perfect by discharging one prescribed duty. By performing one's natural occupations, one worship Creator from whom living entities have come into being and by whom the whole universe is pervaded. By such performance of work, a person easily attains perfection. It is better to do one's own dharma even though imperfectly than to do another dharma even though perfectly. By doing such innate duties, a person does not incur sin. One should not abandon duties born of nature, one's nature, even if one sees defect in them. O son of Kunti, indeed all endeavors are wielded by some evil as far as covered by smoke. Those whose intellect is unattached everywhere, who have mastered the mind and are free from desires by practice of renunciation, attain the highest perfection of freedom from action. Hear from me briefly, O Arjun. I shall now explain you how one and who has attained perfection of cessation of action can also attain Brahman by being firmly fixed in transcendental knowledge. One becomes fit to attain Brahman when he or she possesses a pure intellect and firmly restrain the senses, abandoning sound and other object of senses, casting aside attraction and aversion. Such person relinquishes solitude, eats lightly, controls body, mind, and speech, and is ever engaged in meditation and practice dispassion, free from egotism, violence, and arrogance, desire, possessiveness of property, selfishness. From such a person is situated in tranquility, is fit for union with Brahman, that is realization of absolute truth as Brahman. Once situated in transcendental Brahman, realization becomes mentally serene, neither grieving nor desiring, being equitably towards all living beings. Such a yogi attains supreme devotion unto me. Only by loving devotion to me does one come to know me who I am in truth. Thus, then, having come to know me, my devotees enter into me in the full consciousness of me. My devotees, through performing all kind of actions, take refuge in me. By my grace, they attain the eternal and imperishable abode. Dedicate your every activity onto me, making me your supreme goal, taking shelter of the yoke of intellect, keeping your consciousness absorbed in me. If you remember me by my grace, you shall overcome all obstacles and difficulties. But if due to pride you do not listen to my advice, you will perish. If motivated by pride, you think that I shall not fast, fight, your decision will be in vain. Your own nature will compel you to fight. Oh Arjun, that action which out of delusion you do not wish to do now, you will be driven to do it by your own inclination, born of your material nature. The Supreme Lord dwells in the heart of all living beings. O Arjun, according to their karmas, he directs the wanderings of soul who are seated on the machine body of energy. Surrender exclusively unto him with your whole being. O, o Bharat, by his grace you will attain perfect peace and eternal abode. Thus I have explained to you this knowledge that is more secret than all secrets. Ponder or over it deeply and then do as you wish. Here again, my supreme instruction, the most confidential of all knowledge. I am revealing you this for your benefit because you are my very dear friend to me. Always think of me, be devoted to me, worship me, and offer obeisance to me. Doing so, you will certainly come to me. This is my pledge to you, for you are very dear to me. Abandon all varieties of dharmas and simply surrender unto me. I shall liberate you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. This instruction should not be explained to those who do not austere or to those who are not devoted. It should not also be spoken to those who are averse to listening to spiritual topic, and especially not to those who are envious of me. Amongst my devotees, those who teach this confidential knowledge perform the great act of love. They will come to me without doubt. No human being does more loving service to me than they. Nor shall there ever be anyone on this earth more dear to me. And I proclaim that those who study the sacred dialogues of ours will worship me with intellect through sacrifice of knowledge. Such is my view. Even those who listen to this knowledge with faith, without envy, will be liberated from sins and attain auspicious abodes where pious dwells. O Arjun, have you heard me with concentrated mind? Have your grief and have your ignorance and delusion been destroyed? Arjun said, "O infallible one, by your grace my illusion has been dispelled and I am situated in knowledge. I am now free from all doubts and I shall now act accordingly to your instructions." Sanjay said, having heard this wonderful conversation between Sri Krishna and son of Vasudev and Arjun, the noble hearted son of Pritha. So thrilling is this message that my hair is standing on my end. By the grace of Ved Vyasa, I have heard the supreme and most secret yoga of from the Lord of Yoga, Sri Krishna himself. As I repeatedly recall this astonishing and wonderful dialogue between Supreme Lord Sri Krishna and Arjun, O King, I rejoice again and again, and remembering the most astonishing and wondering cosmic form of Lord Krishna. Great is my astonishment, and I am thrilled with joy over and over again. Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of all yoga, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be under unending opulence, victory, prosperity, and righteousness. Of this I am certain. This ends Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18. Thanks for joining.